everything you've talked about with vPerson and the platform, it makes it seem so easy to be implementing, yet we know people are still struggling. So what do you think are the biggest barriers organizations are facing when it comes to building, deploying, and maintaining successful AI projects?
Yeah. This is what we face all the time. I mean, sometimes, often we get asked who are our biggest competitors, and I think today what we see as the competition is organizations that try and do it themselves.
Yes.
With a lack of skills and experience, because we all know there's many tool sets out there today that enable you to set up a conversational AI system and deploy it quickly. But unless you've got the right skills, experience, and the platform that can scale as you scale this across all these different channels and different departments in the organization and support many thousands of users simultaneously, then you're going to fail if you haven't got that right tool and you haven't got those skills and experience. So that's what we see as the main barrier today. In fact, we launched what we call our rescue campaign to rescue failing chatbot or conversational AI systems, and we have a really large US insurance company where that's been very successful. Within that, we've deployed multiple systems with them, and their issue was that they had many chatbot projects that had grown up in different areas of the business using some of these platforms that you can just download from the web and do things quickly with, but they wasn't getting those systems deployed in a commercial environment, and they brought us in to come along and solve that for them, which we've done very successfully. So that rescue campaign, we've been extending that out. And we've been going 17 plus years, so we do have a lot of people with 10 plus years experience of deploying these systems. And it's not just about what works; it's knowing what doesn't work as well. And we've been very successful at helping companies, kind of bring these solutions to great success. I mean, I actually must say as well, our first customer, one I signed when I was doing sales direct myself, then 17 plus years ago, Lloyd's Banking Group, are still a customer today, and as they've taken on other brands like Halifax and Bank of Scotland, we've extended our solution to those other brands, contact center, branch support. So it kind of really has kind of enabled us with our experience to help those organizations that have got those barriers. The other thing I will say though is that just on a practicality front, the world is very much around microservices and APIs today from a technology standpoint, and just being able to get access to those sometimes is difficult within organizations. They're not always easy to make or readily available to organizations to integrate with. So we see that as another barrier. And the other thing is the organization structure as well. We're still not seeing the contact center at the center of the digital strategy within these organizations. And that is starting to change now, but we have a long way to go. And until we can get more joined up organizational structure when it comes to the digital strategy within these organizations, I think that will continue to be a barrier. But again, that's starting to change.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Like the example I gave you of my own experience, we were low man on the totem pole. Yet today, it is the way that we stay in contact with our clients, and the pandemic was something that many were not prepared for, but we had to switch very quickly. And I think your rescue examples is going to be the answer to my next question. So what impact did the pandemic have on the implementation and usage of conversational AI tools? I would imagine that people had to do something, but now in retrospect, they're coming to you to help save them.
Yeah, well, we're still very much in the middle of it, aren't we? And we're very fortunate as an organisation that we're in a sector that hasn't suffered the devastation like many other sectors have at this really terrible time. It's every single day I count ourselves very fortunate. We've been able to keep the whole of our team intact through this time. And when I look at other organisations and sectors, we just count ourselves very lucky. I guess the first thing I'd say is actually we're a private company, and what that means to us is that we can take a long-term view when it comes to working with customers and developing our products. And we can give our staff the flexibility to take that long-term view as well, which I think is very important, actually, especially in difficult times.
Mm-hmm.
And, to give you some direct information on our experience, we saw record traffic to our virtual agents, or are continuing to see record traffic to our virtual agents, our conversational AI systems, because of the questions that are being asked around all sorts of stuff, really. But I think the other direct thing we've seen is being able to change the responses that the systems give automatically, quickly and safely. And again, I keep coming back to this, but having that human in the loop and combining it with machine learning has been so important for our customers over this time, because they want to change things quickly, but it has to be done securely and safely and consistently. And you have to have all that testing mechanism in place end to end from a platform like vPortal to be able to do that. So we've been seeing that very successfully utilized during this time, because things have had to happen much more quicker. And then we're seeing record traffic, to these systems. And we've seen government schemes, we've seen healthcare changing, messaging very quickly, and we've had to keep up with all of that. And again, it comes back to not just a tool, but the people within the company and the experience that we've got helping organizations manage their way through that. So again, it's been a tough time for everybody, and we've just been doing our bit with our technology and our skills and experience in terms of helping our customers. We do have some case studies around this with people like HSBC and Lloyds Banking Group that are long-term customers here in the UK, as they've been implementing their bounce back loans, and that information's been changing quite often as government policy changes.
Right.
We've been providing that sort of support, and we've been working with healthcare providers on providing information on the virus itself in certain cases. So quite a few case studies, but again, it's that flexibility and quick response that we can deploy using our tool and our experience that's really been helping those customers, I would say, today, and continuing to, of course.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing, that flexibility. Obviously, we can only flex up and down so much with live agents. We can offer them overtime, we can bring in all the part-time people, but what I think we're finding across the world is in many cases that's not good enough. With a chatbot, you can increase the volumes, as you said, in a flash. And so in many cases, it has actually saved companies to be able to have that ability. Otherwise, they would have been shut down just due to their call volumes.